Right now, there's someone else that is being trafficked.
This is modern day slavery.
Who's being victimized the most?
The minute I wasn't here, I was already being trafficked. She said, "You're gonna please my friends sexually."
And that was 7 days a week?
Yes.
It impacts everyone.
They say that 1 in 5 runaways reports being forced into sex trafficking.
Exactly.
You can sell drugs once, but you can sell a 5-year-old girl again and again. It's all about money. It's all about money.
Now, trafficked. WPBF 25 News investigates.
Good evening. I'm Tiffany Kenny. At any given moment, in any South Florida neighborhood, lives are being torn apart. Tonight, we expose the untold stories of courage and resilience as we investigate the fight against sex trafficking. We begin with the story of a woman who was forced into a life as a sex worker before she was rescued in Palm Beach County.
My name is Cindy Alvarado, and I'm a survivor of sex trafficking for 6.5 years.
Let's talk about your story and where it all started.
I was in Costa Rica, and I knew an American friend for a few years, and she called me to offer me a babysitting job. And she offered to pay the visa, the flight ticket, so it sounded really good.
And then what happened when you got here to the States?
The minute I wasn't here, I was already being trafficked.
So the minute you got off the plane, here in the States, your trafficker was the one who picked you up at the airport.
Yes. She said, "You're going to please my friends sexually. You're going to do what I tell you. They're going to give you money. You're going to give that money back to me. And if you don't do that, then something can happen to your kids."
Can you explain what your daily life was like while you were being held captive by this trafficker?
I can wake up early in the morning. We needed to be ready at 8 o'clock. And then when I say we, it's because I was never alone. There were other girls working. And we end up usually at 8 o'clock p.m. or 10, 11, depending on how the day pick up. And it's usually, clients that pay for an hour, half an hour, or just say 15 minutes of your time per se.
And you were in an apartment with other women, and
Yes.
the clients of the trafficker would just come in and out all day long.
Exactly.
Who were the people that were coming and going?
Regular people. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, counselors, people working in call centers, just regular people, people that drive trucks, police officers, sadly.
And that was 7 days a week?
Yes. Yes.
7 days a week from 8 in the morning until 8 at night, sometimes even later.
Yes. Every day.
That is horrific.
Yes. Every day.
How did you survive that? I mean, how did you shut your mind off to be able to endure all of that?
Well, the mind is really an amazing machine that we have. You just get numbed, like it's just another person and another person, and you start becoming or feeling that you are less than a person. So you start getting quiet about it. The mind just goes away. You are like physically there. You're functioning, there's things happening, and you probably are having a conversation with somebody, saying whatever, like, yes, I'm ready, this and that, but your mind is far away from there.
Cindy, you were under the control of your trafficker for over 6 years. What gave you the courage to break free and to ask for help?
I started asking for help early on the stage of my trafficking years, but I was asking in the wrong place.
And you told some of these people that you were being held against your will.
We just scared them.
And then that you would never see them again.
I never see them again. I was hoping that besides to scare them, just make an anonymous call. Doesn't have to tell everything, But yeah, it scares them. And that tells a lot about the conscience they have of what is going on. Like they do understand that this is not a good thing to do.
Right. In your mind, there was no way out.
Of course not. I'm a criminal. In my mind, I just became a criminal in another country.
That is just terrifying.
Yes.
And you were 28 years old.
Yes, with 2 kids back in my house that I just needed to go back to and make sure that they were safe. But now I understand that's the mechanism the traffickers use, blame and shame you, so that you don't ask for help.
To people who say, why couldn't you leave earlier? Why couldn't you just run away from the apartment, run away from the hotel? What do you say to them?
The reason why a lot of survivors cannot run physically, and get stuck in it is because there are threats made to them. And it's usually to members they love. In my case was, I don't want my kids to be harmed at no cost. I'm not going to be the person who make them at that risk.
There's so much manipulation mentally that's going on with the victims.
Yes.
It must make you feel alone in many ways.
Yes, actually. Back then, when I tried to kill myself, doctors, nurses, they were not trained for human trafficking, which they are now, which is wonderful. I tried for a long time. But one day, one nurse recognized me for another county, and he's like, I think I saw you. And he told me, here in Palm Beach, he told me, like, I know who you are, and so we're going to talk. And he told me about human trafficking. He told me about what it's like, and he gave me a whole, 2 pages of nonprofits and institutions that could help me here. I reached 911. I called and I said, I'm a prostitute and I want you to arrest me. That 911 agent was trained on human trafficking, so she understood. And that's when they told me, you're a victim of human trafficking. We're going to help you.
And how are you today when you look back on what you had to endure? And it must be so upsetting to think about those years that you lost.
It's a whole process of healing, to understand what really happened. It's a whole roller coaster of anger and accepting, and then getting motivated into okay, what is next? I have to go somewhere else, do the next thing.
And the next thing is to help other people. Why is that important to you, to be able to help survivors?
I think it goes back to I wanted somebody for me, and I couldn't have that somebody. So I just want to become that person. No matter where the person is in their own journey of healing, I just would love somebody to grab me for hand and, okay, let's do this. Is plan A, B, and C. I want to be that person for them.
You want to be the person you never had.
Yes.
Today, Cindy is a mentor to other survivors. She also testified against her trafficker, who was convicted and sent to prison. But tracking down these criminals takes more than the hands of the law. The new eyes now on the streets.
Tonight, President Joe Biden in South Florida, the key fundraising events he attended, and how his opponents are responding tonight. And 2 men arrested in connection with a body found in a West Palm Beach dumpster nearly 2 years ago. What we're learning from investigators about the suspects.
Chilly nights ahead here across South Florida. Plus, I'm tracking a storm system that makes a big impact to your weekend. The new timing tonight on WPBF 25 News.
You've got it pretty good. Streaming this much stuff was never this easy. Yes! Nice eye thingies.
They're collagen boosters. Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network made for streaming for $20 a month for 12 months. And Add Now TV for $20. It's the best value in live TV and streaming.
You guys like this show too? Yes, chef!
Get way more into what you're into when you stream on the Xfinity 10G network.
Oh, Grace, this one's from your stepdad. Thanks, Chris. This one's from Lily. Lily.
Okay, great. Let's add the milk. That's perfect. You know this.
Fort McHenry.
Good job, Grace.
Thanks, Chris.
I just wanted to say a big thank you to my mom and Chris.
Where did you guys meet?
Psychology class.
Wow. Nice.
You look beautiful.
Thanks, Dad.
When we work for you, it's our team of skilled attorneys and staff who give you personalized service and pay attention to details. We're a team of winners, ready to fight for you.
Vinyl flooring is luxurious and soft underfoot. Right now at National Floors Direct, get an entire room of luxury vinyl flooring installed the next day for just $788 and no interest for 1 year. Call 888-400-FLOOR. We'll bring the store to your door.
Watch Aaron Guy on WPBF 25 News Mornings.
Hi, I'm John Walsh, here at Place of Hope in Palm Beach County, the first charity in the country to partner with Crime Stoppers to help stop human trafficking.
And Place of Hope is adding to the Crime Stoppers reward to make a total of $5,000 for tips that lead to an arrest or recovery.
Don't forget, you can remain anonymous. If you suspect human trafficking, please call Crime Stoppers. You can make a difference with a simple phone call.
You're watching Trafficked. WPBF 25 News investigates.
This is modern day slavery. That's what this is.
You've been sheriff now for 19 years.
Yep.
How would you describe the sex trafficking issue in Palm Beach County and in South Florida?
Well, you have to realize Florida is the number 3 in the country. So obviously there's a volume of it happening. That's why in 2017 we formed the South Florida Human Trafficking Task Force. And we work with the FBI and Homeland Security. There's one in Miami, there's one in Broward, and we all network because most of it is a South Florida problem.
Who is most at risk?
Well, young people. They prey on illegals because they don't want to be found out because they're afraid they're going to get deported. Runaways because they're run away from home, so they're not going to get a hold of the police.
We know from the Palm Beach County Human Traffic Task Force statistics, they say that 1 in 5 runaways reports being forced into sex trafficking.
Exactly.
So really, those are some of the most at risk.
Absolutely, because they got nowhere to go. So these people offer them things that they don't have. Place to live, some money, take care of them, food. They don't have that. So these people just bring them right on in, and once they get them in, under the guise of want to take care of you, that's when it turns and they're going to be exploited.
And how are they exploited? What are they being used for?
I'll give you an example. One of the cases that we made about 5 or 6 months ago in Lake Worth, there was 2 underage juveniles up in a hotel room, and the guy was bringing the guys up to the hotel room for the 2 young girls. Fortunately for us, the clerk, told the deputies, look, I'm not comfortable with what's going on. There's a lot of traffic in and up there. I know that there's 2 young girls. You need to look into it. And sure enough, that's what it was.
Typically, it doesn't happen that easy, though. It's a very complicated investigation when it comes to sex trafficking.
It is. And the reason it's so complicated, because the victims of this are not going to wave you down and report it.
The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office has created a few different training programs for people like hotel workers, medical professionals, people who are on the front lines who may be able to spot those victims who are being sex trafficked.
We have 2 different programs, actually 3. We target the hospitality industry, hotels, motels. We target the healthcare professionals, people, believe it or not, that are involved in servicing houses like pest control, cleaning people, stuff like that, because they see what's going on. I mean, think about it. When a guy comes to do the pest control, he's like invisible. He's all over your house or wherever he's at. He sees what's going on. Now, an interesting stat is 90% of the victims involved in this at some point in time seek medical help. That's why it's important for us to train the medical people in emergency room and clinics to say, hey, if you got a young girl that comes in and she's obviously being controlled because the handler will be there to make sure she's not going to talk, that's a sign you need to talk to us. If you know something, say something, because that's the piece of the puzzle that we need to carry that investigation forward.
If you see something, say something, but what should people be looking for?
Well, it's pretty obvious. A young child that may be in a hotel room or a house and there's a lot of traffic. We did a case in the Glades where they had gotten a trailer There was 3 or 4 young girls there. They were servicing the workers from the field.
Why is it difficult to put a number to the victims? We don't really know how many people are being sex trafficked in South Florida.
You just don't. The ones we know about are the cases that we do. We did like 350 cases since 17. I think we arrested 105 people, and I think we arrested 10 people last year. But you don't know the number of them because it's kind of like crime prevention. You can't measure something that you prevented. It's with the sex trafficking, there's victims out there that you don't know are there. You know that it's happening, but you can't quantify it unless you make the case and make the arrest.
These victims are mentally manipulated by their traffickers.
Absolutely, absolutely. They're led to believe that they're being taken care of and that they can't go anywhere else. If they do, they're going to be arrested or they're going to be deported. So stay with us. We're going to take care of you. You just do what we say. What hurts is how vulnerable these young people are and how much they come to rely on them. I mean, I'm a parent, I'm a grandparent, and I just can't imagine the distress and the actual, at some point, probably terror that these kids feel. They don't have any hope. They don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. They don't see a way out of it. And we can give them a way out of it. All we got to do is find them.
What happens when a survivor is rescued? The one South Florida woman navigating their next journey to freedom.
Boost by Kroger Plus is more than worth it.
Give it to me, I'm worth it.
With 2 times fuel points and free delivery for as low as $59 per year, you can save up to $650 annually. Try Boost free for 30 days. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Bruno! Bruno!
Pup on the run? No problem.
With 5 drive modes, Rogue makes this a walk in the park.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get a low $299 per month lease or get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on Rogue.
If you've been in an accident, you know how hard it can be to find people who will listen to your needs. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anager & Levine, and we're not like other law firms. When you call our office, you'll speak to an attorney immediately, someone who understands the complexity and legal issues of your case and focuses on the most important thing, your recovery. Call us at 1-800-747-FREE for a consultation and take back control of your life.
Smart thrift store shoppers know they can find the best of everything at Faith Farm during the Have a Heart Sale, Friday and Saturday, February 2nd and 3rd. You'll find quality used furniture for the living room, bedroom, and dining room, all at 50% off our already incredibly low prices. Save on new furniture, appliances, clothing, and so much more. Everything in the store is on sale. Support Faith Farm's mission of recovery and saving lives during the Have a Heart Sale at Faith Farm in Boynton Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and on State Road 70 in Okeechobee.
Unexpected home emergencies are a headache. But at Sansone Air Conditioning and Plumbing, we have you covered with same-day solutions and expert guidance. Our certified techs are here even on nights and weekends to solve all the issues you didn't see coming. Plus, we offer industry-leading warranties, special offers, and flexible financing options. Call or schedule online today.
Even if you don't live near a Kroger store, you can still get fresh groceries delivered to your door with Kroger Delivery. Start your cart now and get $45 off your first 3 orders, plus free delivery with a Boost membership. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Watch Glenn Glazer on WPBF 25 News.
You can sell drugs once, but you could sell a 5-year-old girl again and again. My name is Somi Ali. I'm the founder and president of a nonprofit called No More Tears.
How bad is sex trafficking in South Florida?
My biggest concern is that people are unaware, and when they are made aware, unless it hits home, no one cares. An average age for a boy is about 11 or 12, and the average girl to go into sex trafficking is 13 to 15.
law enforcement calls you when there's been an investigation, and you are right there on the scene when these victims are found.
I become the second responder, and I go either to the police department or to where they've been rescued, and then I take over. I interview the survivors, and then I come up with a plan for them. Number one is therapy. Second is checking them for STDs. That's number two, because a lot of these Johns don't care. And the third is finding out where they're from.
How long are you in contact with the victim? Like, how long does that last?
2 to 6 months. Every survivor is different. Where they come from, are they rich, are they poor, are they upper middle class, lower middle class? Human sex trafficking has no prejudices. It impacts everyone. Our youngest victim was a 2-year-old baby girl on the dark web where she was being sold by her own parents for meth.
Who's being victimized the most right now?
I would say it's more of the Hispanics that are brought here from different countries and also Southeast Asia. It's usually the people you know that bring you here. It's an uncle or an aunt, or in some cases, job hunting.
What do you want people to know about sex trafficking in our communities?
I want people to know that sex trafficking exists, not in just Honduras or third world countries or Southeast Asia. It is in our backyard.
I understand too that also at a high risk are kids and young adults in the LGBTQ plus community, because sometimes they might be runaways. They might have left their home because they had disagreements with their parents about their choices. Do you see that a lot?
So the sex traffickers, they give them refuge. They give them a place to stay, give them love, tell them it's okay to be gay. And their clientele is men wanting men.
In the 17 years since you started No More Tears, are you seeing an increase in the number of victims?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every day I see an increase in sex trafficking victims. Our society needs to wake up, and first of all, we need to recognize the problem. And unless and until, unfortunately, it happens to your daughter or your son, people don't want to care. Human trafficking is growing as we speak, by the minute. Right now, there's someone that is being trafficked.
What is your ultimate goal with No More Tears? I mean, what do you hope to get out of all of this work that you're putting into saving sex trafficking victims?
I know that I cannot eradicate human trafficking, human sex trafficking in my lifetime. There's someone else that is being trafficked right now, and I need to do something about it. So I will go on, and if I lose my life doing this work, it was a life worth well lived.
At Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, we are proud to be a statewide recognized law firm. But our roots are deepest here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast with you and your families. Call us at 500-HELP. HELP is just a local phone call away.
Looking for big fitness energy this year? Join Planet Fitness. Now through January 31st, it's the last chance to save almost $50 when you join for 24 cents down and just $10 a month. Cancel anytime. That's right, save almost $50 and get energized in the judgment-free zone. Never intimidating. Always free fitness training. Equipment for every workout. Don't miss out. Join today for just 24 cents down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, January 31st.
As Florida's leading academic health system for over 50 years, Tampa General and USF Health Morsani College of Medicine collaborate with esteemed local physicians to deliver innovative treatments forged from game-changing research and academics. And if you need complex care at Tampa General, our ambassadors make coordination and follow-up seamless. Tampa General Hospital. Other hospitals practice medicine. We define it.
Come on, Michael, come on. Catch the ball! Huddle up! Do you need to get your eyes checked? Well, actually...
Here's the play. Stanton Optical makes glasses in 30 minutes. It's easy on 3. 1, 2, 3. Easy!
Hut! Oh, Michael, you got this! Come on, turn! Michael, catch! I can see! You did it! I did it!
30-minute glasses? Now that's an easy play. Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
Ready? It's happening right now at Rooms to Go. Pick from 100 beautiful rooms, each under $1,500. Picture it, your home, fully furnished in your style, with living rooms under $1,500, dining rooms under $1,500, bedrooms under $1,500. So many stylish options, each under $1,500. And it gets even better. Finance for $30 or less per month, interest-free for 50 months. Furnish your home to perfection. Now at Rooms to Go.
Injured in an accident? Smith, Ball, Byers, and Prather Florida Injury Lawyers will help and fight for you. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Byers, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away.
The fight continues every minute for these women, girls, men, and boys trapped behind closed doors. Thank you for watching Trafficked. WPBF 25 News investigates. Our hope is to make you aware of these sex crimes that are happening right here, right now, hiding in the shadows of our beautiful South Florida shores. Good night.